Hello guys. Okay, so this is our first attempt, well I hope the only attempt we're going to take, at filming a run through of the final version of The Waste. So The Waste is an ASCII RPG that I was working on for a couple of months, and I lost the source code because I suck, but this is the final build. There was a little bug in it where you have to go through a save thing every time you go through a new area, but aside from that, you know, there's quite a lot in it. So we're going to run through it. So I'm going to start a new game, and I'm going to call my Wastelander Billson. It's a reasonable name. And we have a choice of 4 places we can begin the game in. So we've got Francisco's Crater, Boomwalk Desert, Great Blissfield Commons, and Anfield. Yeah, they're the only places. So these are all generated randomly, and they are also, if you notice, they've got different levels and different types and sizes and stuff. Because they're all starting, they can't be any bigger than level 3 in size, because these are the intro craters, or the intro regions even, so they're always a bit weaker. But there are some there that suck. So, you see the one that says Hellzone City Ruins? Yeah, don't go in there, because Hellzones are terrible. So there are a couple of different kinds of regions you can go in. There's no man's, which means there are no men or women. There is no human beings in that region at all, unless they chase you in there. There are no, then you've got hell zones. Everything there wants to kill you. You've got dead regions, which means there's nothing altogether. Stormy regions, which means there are storms that will likely kill you. And what else we got? Trap regions, which mean there's quite a fair few traps in there. There's probably a few others I'm missing out. And then we've got different kinds of actual regions. We've got quite a few here. We've got city ruins, deserts, craters. There are also mountains, and that's all there is, I believe, at the moment, or ever, because there's not going to be any more work on this game. So craters, pretty standard. The only ones that have any negative effects really are mountains and deserts. The others are okay. So we're going to start in Anfield. It's only small. It's city ruins. It's level 1. It's fine. The others are both either level 3 or a hell zone, so it seems like the most logical option. It is the biggest region, and this is the thing you have to go through every time you start a new region. This wasn't in any versions prior to this, and this was the bugged part of it. I was trying to add save games, and didn't finish them before I lost the code. So just skip through this, just always click continue. If you click save game, it doesn't work. But like I said, any version prior to this doesn't have this in, and it's completely fine and well built. This is the only downside of this build. And as you see, something weird we've encountered, an old ruin warehouse repurposed into a functional wasteland storefront. Come, buy, leave. Is spray painted on the front. As she approaches, oh, it's a girl. She seems a little bit surprised that you're willing to trade with him. Oh god, okay. Given his mutant appearance. So, Leela, the one-eyed Waremaster, is being protected by a guard. So it's a man, lady, mutant with a mustache, beard type thing, and an eye on its head. Let's trade with it, or talk to it. Okay, so you can't really say much, to be fair to it. It doesn't really work. So we're going to talk to it. And wow, okay, fair big, because it's a Waymaster, it has a great deal of stuff in the inventory. I do have to alter some properties to allow the window to stretch a bit higher though. No, that's width. Buffer height, there we go, we'll set that way higher. So I can scroll up. This is to do with command prompts being here. Now I should have a big scroll wheel, so I press 0 and go back to trade again. And buy, you'll see everything Leela's got. So she's got quite a lot. I've only got $100 because that's how much you start with. We can, because she's a Waymaster, she'll stock all kinds of stuff. Now she's actually selling things really overpriced, so I wouldn't buy anything off her unless I had to. I can't get. There are a few things I can get here and there from her. She might have a few free items, but nothing major. There's nothing worth my time really. So, and I wouldn't want to risk robbing her either. Or would I? Oh man, I might try and rob her. Thing is, if I buy a weapon from her thinking it might work, she's selling things so overpriced that the weapon that looks like it might be so expensive because it's good will just actually be terrible. So, I'm gonna kick myself, but I can't risk robbing her because it probably won't work. In my inventory, I have a metal pole of nukes, which I'm going to equip. It's a low-level weapon, does very little damage, and I've got 2 items of food: an insta-heal atomic chocolate bar, which will heal all your health once, well, 100 HP, and a can of noob juice, which is 25. So we're going to leave Lilu, or whatever her fucking name is, and there we go. The man nods you safe passage. Okay, so we hear a strange sound and approach, but it's too late. We encounter a wasp nest with 7 tumorous, crusty, mortally wounded, fragile blue wasps shooting out to meet you. We could probably kill these guys. Okay, I'm going to weapon attack. So I've missed, and got a hit there, and I'm going to punch it to get that kill. 41 XP. Bam. Oh, nice. Okay, level that. As you can see, there is no charisma, luck, or sneak, but all the other skills and things are in there. Never put anything in lockpicking because you get it naturally. So I'm going to put some in agility so I don't miss, and we have a choice of a perk. Now there's lots of perks that you can pick from. There's Quick Learner, which means it's easier to level up. There's Regrowth, which means you gain 1 HP per turn. Coin Gambler gives you a random amount of coins between 1 and 1,500. Ammo Magnet barely works, but it gives you double ammo wherever you get ammo for the most part. Here and Now only can get it at level 5, but you instantly level up. Mad Skills gives you +1 skill point per level. Mysterious Man is a complete mystery. I'm not going to reveal that to you. Raider Blood means you become a raider and have the opportunity to be allowed into raider settlements. Studded Skin means you do extra damage when attacked. Escapist means you've got a better chance of fleeing. Crit Time means you have a better chance to do critical damage. Nomad Friends means all nomads are your friend usually, but there are obviously some that aren't. Tracker means more dungeon info. So you can see with I think the first rank of that, you get to see what type of creature is in there, and then the next one you get to see what level they are at, but the level doesn't really matter. So it just allows you to tell what you're going into. A looter means you get better loot, or more loot. Durable means your weapons last longer. So for example, it's a +1 in a sense. It's like if your weapon has 10 durability, every time you use it, it'll go okay -1 durability. But if you've got the durable perk, and your durable is 2, there's a 1 in 2 chance that it's going to break. And if you've got durable 10, there's a 1 in 10 chance. So the higher that is, the way more durable your weapons become. We've got crafty, which means better weapon upgrades, but that's within towns. Because within towns, in workshops, you can upgrade weapons and things like that. And it just means that it happens more often because it's like a random chance you'll get a weapon upgrade when you're repairing them and fix them up. Mountaineer is a very good perk. It allows you to avoid falling off the mountain when you climb them, which you have to do quite often in mountain regions. And it can definitely set you back. A lot of players die that way. So it's a good pick to have. Scrapmaster allows you to combine weapons, so there are risks of them both breaking, but if you've got a really high Scrapmaster perk, you can combine weapons to make something really powerful. And you can constantly keep combining weapons again and again and again, so you have some mega weapon. Oh, we've already gone over that. Bard allows you to play music, but it's not a good perk. I wouldn't get that. Appraisal means you, which is the thing we were pointing out earlier, actually, where I couldn't tell if any of the weapons were any good. Appraisal shows you all the stats of the items in your inventory and theirs when you're trading and selling. So if there's anything in their inventory, you can be like, okay, that food item, that can of beans gives me 20 HP, but is also really radiated, so that's worthless. That weapon does 50 damage. And blah blah blah, and tells you what the actual value of the item is next to the value they're selling it at, so you can tell if they're ripping you off too. Very good perk. And then we've got Repairman, which means more durability from scrap when you're repairing. But again, that's like crafty. It happens only in towns when you repair. We've got Fearsome and Joyous, which are both for if you're fearsome, then every time you enter a new region, the region level goes up by 1. So take that at your own risk. But it means you get more dangerous regions, tougher enemies, that sort of thing. Joyous means they get weaker. You can only take one of these, and it lasts forever. So it's really an odd perk to take. I've never taken one personally because it can affect you negatively at any point. Prosperity, which is a very good perk, means all merchants get the chance of having an extra money between $1 to $500 and extra item in their inventory. Buy a thread means there's a 5% chance that when you get hit with a death blow, you will actually survive and be given 1 HP. Herbalist means when you find plants, you have a better chance of harvesting them without breaking them. Explorer means there's always a minimum of 3 areas at this rank. So where we saw 4 areas earlier, there's actually a chance between 1 and 5 areas you can get. And what Explorer does is means it sets, at the first rank of it, means there's always a minimum of 3 areas. You'll never get less than 3 areas of choice when you complete a region. And the next rank then, it's always 4, and then at the final rank I think it's always 5, I'm assuming. Life Giver perk is instantly 25 HP, and I think that goes up as the ranks shoot up. Raz Tank is a one-off, and it means it takes twice as much radiation to kill you. So you still get the negative effects of the earlier radiation, but there's a final point where once you reach a certain amount of radiation, it'll kill you, and this doubles that. So you have to take a lot more radiation damage to die. Heavy lifting means you gain more strength from lifting weights. So take that as you will. And those are the perks. So I'm gonna go with let's go with mad skills. So the next time I level up, I'll have more skill points. And now let's kill the remaining of these crusty, tumorous blue wasps. As you can tell, the names of every creature in the game are very, very nuts and stupid. But I like that. So we've killed them all, and we pass by an abandoned fallout shelter. Some broken piles of glass and a load of empty glass vials. But among the pile, we find a crate with 4 full vials left over. These are very good items. These allow for mutations. So these are vials of an item in the game called Agent X, which is a play on something, but it's if you drink them, they mutate you. And each time you start a new game, what they do is reset every time. So they don't have a fixed thing that each one of them does, but they have a fixed type. So, for example, they might be really bad, negative potions, vials, but they'll cause you negative mutations, and I think the worst one you can get is one that gives you a 90% chance of a negative and a 10% chance of a positive. And then the next one up is 50-50, so there's a 50% chance of a negative mutation and 50% chance of a positive. Then you've got one that's 90% chance positive, 10% chance negative. Then you get one that's entirely likely to give you a good one. There's no chance of negative. And then you get the best one of all, which only gives you like super overpowered mutations that are unique to its type. So, and there's quite a lot of different mutations, from growing a tail to losing limbs. So we're going to take them all, and I'm not going to drink them yet, unless I need to. I'm going to try and find out what they do first. So we find a small makeshift grave, and the marker has the word Gusty on it. Interesting. Let's carry on. So we see a teepee constructed out of rubble and pipes in the middle of the road. We can kick it over, or we can search it. Yeah, I'll search it. And oh, we found some things. You don't often find stuff in these, so it's pretty good. We find a weapon called Terrible Friend, which is an impure gold cleaver, a rusted ice pick, another vial, and a chocolate bar. So I'm going to take everything. Nice. And just up ahead, before we do that though, I'm going to equip Terrible Friend. So Terrible Friend does 56 damage compared to the 6 damage that my current weapon does, and has 64 durability compared to the 15 max we have and the 3 left. So definitely going to equip that. But I'm also going to check this other rusty ice pick and see what that one does. Oh, no way, 13 damage. So I'm going to scrap both that and the Pole of Noobs, and let's carry on. So there's a weak, fat, blind wolf. So that's like 2 wolves. I don't know. Randomly generated stuff. Okay, so he growls at me and charges, and we kill it in an instant. And oh, we loot the corpse he was eating. So we find $11.85, and then we're finding a lot of vials. Sometimes you can go an entire game without finding any, but I seem to be finding quite a few. We've got pineapple soda, black vial, a dark chocolate bar, a soylent kiwi, and a bunch of filthy top secret dark chocolate coins. So that's a mouthful. So we find the right. Oh, okay. There's been a bloody battle, and you can't tell what's going on, but all of the corpses have been charred. Nice. We also pass along, notice a big pothole in the road, and there seems to be a makeshift spike pit inside that would have no doubt proved deadly if fallen on, but we avoided it, so fun times. And there's a travelling nomad, but he's sifted away from us, so we're safe. And I cut my leg on a piece of glass. Wonderful. I'm actually semi-low on health. I'm going to enter this cave though. Anfield Small Cave. Before I go in, I'm going to have a look at this pineapple soda. And the amount of radiation that gives you is not worth it, so I'm not even going to drink. Got the chocolate bar. Still not really worth it. Dark chocolate coins, fine. Premium kiwi, meh. And top secret dark chocolate coins, no rads, so I'm going to eat them. And hopefully that's... oh, why not? We'll drink the can of new juice that we get at the start of the game, so I have pretty decent health there, and let's go into the cave. So it's a small place, caught in a trap. There's a skull on the ceiling. Let's keep going. Okay, there was nothing in there except for a pedestal. Oh no, a pill that says drugs on it. Do we want to take drugs? I think for the sake of the fact that I'm showing off the game, why not show what happens when you take drugs? +1 drugs. So, wow, colours. Anfield region has been cleared. So that was the last part of Anfield, and now I've leveled up. Now what you might notice is that what drugs does is it tricks the game engine to the point where anytime where it resets the colour of something, for example, if your health goes red because you're in the negative, it'll reset that. Well, instead it just goes, give it a random colour instead for anything. So inventory's fun. Okay, so we're going to increase strength and agility and strength and agility, and then I'm going to give myself a looter perk, so I get slightly more loot. And unfortunately, because I don't have the explorer perk, I have a choice between 2 regions, both level 5, which sucks. One of them is a craters region. It's only small, so I'm going to run through that one. And remember not to save the game. So I find a corpse lying on the ground. We are in a trap region, so it could be a trap, but I'm going to search it anyway. Oh, nice. So, aluminium staff, a glowing luminous bowling ball, an infamous boomerang, an atomica ginger ale, a combat steel scythe, and a spring. And we turn around to see, oh great. After you loot the corpse, you turn around to see you were surrounded by 5 raiders. It was a trap. Shit. Oh, these are death raiders. I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna flee. Okay, I've dodged one of them. The other one managed to swing at me, but I'm avoiding it. And I'm rushing to get out of it. And I'm gonna drink my insta-heal chocolate bar and try and flee this last one. Oof. Oh, great. So we ran from one into another group of roving bandits. These ones are weaker though, mutated raiders. I'm gonna try and kill them. So 57 damage I got against him. And there's one dead. Another one dead. Oh my god. And there's a raider boss among them, and his name is Stabber Peppy. Oh, I'm just gonna flee. Flee. Stabber Peppy attacks you with 64 damage, and my health is 18. End game. So that was being a quick demo of the wastes. I'll play one more game, just to continue to show this off. So that was what happens when you fight monsters and raider leaders. We'll make a new guy called Bill's Kid. Bill Kid. Okay, so we'll go into Old Darkington. Skip that. Search the TP. It's empty. Another trader. So this one actually looks more like a person, and it's actually not a mutant, so that's cool. So maybe the other one just looked really weird because it was a mutant. I don't know. I forget how I even coded this. You spot someone carrying a few heaps of herbs, roots, and fungus. They offer you to trade, but warn you that these freshly picked and their effects are unknown. As she approaches, she seems a little surprised that you're willing to trade with him, given his mutant appearance. So this one's a mutant too? Weird. Well, I guess they all do kind of look freaky. Let's see what this one has. So this one is selling us plants, which I believe were an item we didn't even get to see in the last playthrough. This game is full of surprises. So the names, this is one of the only items where the names don't actually have any effect on what it does. So ignore the names, even if they look like the worst thing ever. You can't tell unless you eat them. Although to be fair, buying them from a herbalist is a bit more risky in a sense if you buy like just a truckload of them than if you buy them randomly. Oh, sorry, if you find them randomly and pick a bunch of them, because they only sell one of each type, so you won't find like tons of one and tons of the other. So you might eat one and be like, okay, this is good, but each time you're like testing it. Whereas if you find a patch of 50 what? Atom needle shrooms. You might want to be like, oh, this gives me 5 strength. I'm gonna eat all of these. Whereas if you know, I don't know. You know what you're getting into, in a sense. Whereas you're all just testing them here. So it's always better to find them if you find a patch, and that is where the herbalist perk comes in very well. So I'm gonna eat these and see what they do. Removes all my rads, of which I had none. Good work. Also, you can get bongs in the game, and you can smoke plants with bongs as well, and gives you special effects. So definitely worth it. 8 damage to my max HP. Wow. And heals 1 HP. So I've lost a couple of dollars, and now I have 92 out of 92 HP. What a waste of time. She doesn't have anyone with her, but I feel like she's still gonna kick my ass if I try and fight her, so I might flee. Let's attack. And you notice? Her eyes close when she gets hit because we have semi-animated faces here. I am not doing enough damage. Oh, she's doing 6 damage. Exciting combat. Fast-paced mayhem. Yeah, it's not the most redeeming part of the game, I'll give it that. But, yeah, I think this is lost cause, I'm gonna flee. So, broken glass, a ruined skyscraper, and, Air Force Base. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm gonna quickly use the insta-heal chocolate bar and let's have a look. Oh, it's full of psychotic ants. Let's step on them. So there's 5 left, we can tell. I'm gonna step on that one. Wow, they're doing a bit of damage there though. And I noticed there is a hidden hatch. So the dungeon has grown in size. And I'm gonna level up my agility and command skills. And let's step on some more ash ants. And I found something. Ah, we found an armory. And I have no lockpicks, so I'm gonna move on. Severed hand on the ground. Gross. Another armory, and I can't go in there. So we didn't actually look at lockpicking. There's a lot of features in this game that... Oh, we found a merchant. You were surprised to see someone emerge from the shadows. He claims to be a merchant and offers to trade with you, if you wish. As he approaches, she smiles at you and says, I hope the waste is treating you well, my friend. She seems to be alone. So this looks kind of mutant-y as well. I don't know. I guess not. Yeah. Okay, let's see, what have they got? So she's selling a brittle copy, Loopy the Merchant. She's selling a dented pocket cleaver, an improvised greatsword, and a book called The Dread Trilogy Book 2. But it's brittle, so it'll break after one read. Nothing worthwhile. I'm going to ignore him. Or her. It. So, let's shout. Oh, I found a lockpick. One lockpick is definitely not going to help you, but... And after clearing out the Air Force Base, we found a pedestal with a bunch of weapons. Let's take them all and ask questions last. So, what have we got here? 11 damage, 14 damage, 14 damage, and a better durability. I'm going to go for that. And, oh, we found more weapons. Okay. Let's have a look. Legendary, bloodied, blood chrome, nail coated nunchucks. What a mouthful. 63 damage. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna take that one. It's like a legacy weapon from our last playthrough. So we find a shack. Let's go into that shack. As you enter the shack, you notice a huge mound in the center of it. You have entered an ant's nest, and there are 3 monstrous, delicate ants crawling out to me. We're experienced at killing ants by now. I've crushed them all with my weapon. Instantly, and done. Cleared. So just gonna skip through, travel around, and we've cleared the region. Level up. Give myself... As soon as we've cleared a region, we haven't actually had the new set generated for us yet. So I'm going to increase the Explorer perk. So now my minimum is 3. And let's see what we've got here. Ainsley Mountain. Oh man, it's all mountains. This is not the best mix. That was it. The only one I missed when I was talking about region types was Titan regions. Never go into a Titan region because most of the monsters are actually just gigantic Titans instead of just little things. And they'll kill you instantly. So we've got a mountain region, a Hellzone mountain region, a trap level 7 city ruins, or a level 4 Titan craters. This is a really, really bad mix. Mountains in general suck. Anything above level 5 is difficult. Trap regions are a bit of a pain in the ass. Titan regions are a no-go. I'm going to have to break one of my rules either way. So I'm going to go into the level 2 Hellzone mountain region and just hope I don't get killed because it's so small I feel like I could quickly run through it. So I found some empty glass vials and find a full black vial. A raider outpost. Okay, well first of all, I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to drink this black vial. Fingers crossed it's not a negative one. It's not. I gain a lizard's tail, which is a good one. So now I know in my head that black vials are good. Maybe, unless it's one of the ones that are 90% positive, 10% negative. So, you gain a lizard's tail, so that now means that basically in combat I have the regular hit or swing, but I also, every turn will smack them with my lizard's tail and do a little bit of damage, so it's sort of worthwhile. I'm going to ignore the raider outpost though. It's level 2, so the raiders will be weak. But it's a hell zone, so everything sucks. Yeah, I'm going to move on. Some buzzards circling above me. So we reached the peak of this little mountain. Now it's just downhill from here. There's an old coin on the ground, but it has a bubble on it, which means that if you touch it, it will burn your skin. We'll ignore that. Some live bullet shells on the ground. I don't even want to risk it then being a trap, so I'm going to move on. We find a strange tower about shoulder height made out of small pebbles. Perhaps it's a grave marker. Who knows? Let's move on. You notice a smoky hut nested in among some rock and some dry brush. The hut is painted jet black and is surrounded by several flat stones with numeral marked skulls. Right, so like Roman stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to go in there because I've not found them very often, and I'm not going to spoil what's in them, but I'm not going to go in there because I'm going to die otherwise. Let's carry on. Found a small patch of hatched green eggshells in a small ditch. And so we've cleared the region, thank God for that. And now we've got a big choice. I'm quite liking the bottom one because we've got a level 6, which is nope. Mountains and Titan Mountains, which is nope. Stormy Desert, nope. Trap Desert, yeah. Level 3 Desert, we'll go for that. So something strange in the sand. I'm going to put it out. And we find a crate. Got a glass cup, a bruised pack of raspberries, and a titanium morning star. So miscellaneous items, by the way. They have their own little descriptions. The items themselves are randomly generated, and each part of the randomly generated item has a descriptive thing attached to it. So it generates a semi-random description each time too. And there are also items that have special effects, but none of the ones I've got at the moment have anything worthwhile. They'll save everything else for in case I find a merchant. So we've come across an oasis in this desert, full of wormwood smelly branches. This is the thing I was talking about. I'll pick these now. So I've harvested one, and I'm going to taste it, and it gives me 15 XP. So now I know that these are worth picking, and I'm going to pick as many as I can. There is a chance that while pulling them over a smelly branch, you catch your hand on a sharp rock, minus 10 HP. So they do have negative effects. I'm going to watch my HP as it drains, but now that I know these do well, I've got loads of them, whereas if I knew they didn't do so good, I probably wouldn't pick so many of them if I found out they had a bad effect. Whereas if you're buying them from the merchant, it doesn't matter, you're just testing them each time. You might get all bad ones, and it's more of a risk, in a weird sense. Unfortunately there's no inventory stacking, so it just gives me pages and pages of them. So let's eat, oh shit, let's eat them all. So, there we go, all done. Let's move on. So I've got a lot more XP, but I'm only halfway towards my next level. And as you see it there, I'm a level 3 Wasteland Nobody. I find a large patch of hatched green eggshells in a small ditch. Let's carry on. A dried well. Let's look inside. A heaping pile of various human and animal bones. The smell is detestable. Gross. Let's move on. A human skull on the ground. Footprints in the sand. I'll follow them. Oh wow, we're attacked by an angry hermit. A hardy hermit. Oh shit. Hardy hermits are slightly tougher than regular ones. Let's hit him. So as you see there, I swing for him and hit for 70 damage. Your lizard tail whacks the hardy hermit for 9 damage. That's why lizard tails are good. He hits me for 3. Maybe he's not so tough after all. And he's dead. 155 XP. I take what he can from the corpse. $171. Nice. And, oh god, now I've been caught in a snake pit. It never ends, does it? 5 damage. So that's 1 dead. I really want to eat something. A can of noob juice. And your tail will always hit them. Looking in your inventory and using an item, so equipping a weapon, or eating some food from your inventory during combat, will count as a turn and they will attack you. But also, your tail will happen every turn because it's like an extra part of you. I don't know. Works. So, okay, wow. There's another one dead, and I've leveled up. Awesome. I'm gonna use it to increase my max HP. And I think I'm gonna put one in Mountaineer for next time I'm in a mountain region. Now let's kill this thing. Dead. I'm pretty confident at this point that they're not gonna win. And they were a nice little farm of XP. Let's see how much that we got actually. 224 XP per sand cobra. Nice. And that was the final part of Southfield Desert. So, new set. And I think I'm going to go into Mount Cordelia. A dead mountains region, so I can show you what dead regions are like. They're awesome. There is nothing hostile. So, it is towering mountain. So we've got a weapon on the floor. So this is where my perk should pay off. Find something in a rocky crevice. Iron pitchfork, doorknob, and a top secret cognac. And further up, I feel like climbing may be stronger, +1 strength. But I bang my head on a rock doing 1 damage. I cut my arm on another rock doing 9 damage, and I make it to the top. And so I'm climbing over another stretch now. But I find some items, a silver bracelet charm, cheese grater, and a bit of pineapple. And, oh, found something else. A bong, nice, and a Grimmest, the chrome dual-bladed trench knife. Make it to the top, so that's the end of that climb, hopefully. For a little bit anyway, but the climbing perk made that a lot less deadly. It means nicer things are more likely to happen to you and bad things are less likely, but I'm not at the max level of that perk, so there are still chances of negatives. If you get the max mountain climbing perk, you can actually never get any negative effects from climbing mountains. You're just like the master of mountain climbing, which is awesome, and makes these regions much nicer. So, shopping cart, another one of those grave pebble markers, and it was a rock with the words, "Are you alone?" scratched into it. Yes, yes I am. Another climb, +1 strength. And that's what happens when you don't have the full mountain climbing perk. You slip and fall, the fall is deadly, 87 damage, dead on impact. Game over. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been my walkthrough review playthrough of The Waste. Obviously this game is not on development anymore, but a lot of work was put into it. It's about 6 months. It was completely free and is still completely free. You know, there may be something else coming in the future, but obviously, you know, nothing anytime soon because it was a lot of work to get this going. There's plenty of content in the game. It's very replayable. There's millions of items, actually quintillions of faces for random creatures that appear, and I don't know, there's lots of stuff to do. We didn't even get to see towns. We didn't smoke any bombs. There was so many things you can do in this game that you don't get to see unless you play through it a lot. So it's definitely worthwhile. And hopefully, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.